The Butambala Chief Magistrates Court has granted an August 14, 2025 application by the state prosecution to restrict media coverage of proceedings in a case involving former Butambala MP Muwanga Kivumbi, who is facing charges of inciting violence and managing an unlawful society.
Live streaming from inside the courtroom is prohibited.
The court has barred journalists from taking photographs, making audio recordings or providing live coverage of the proceedings. Butambala Grade 1 Magistrate Amina Wahab also directed that the court would determine who is allowed into the courtroom, what can be recorded and when. The prosecution cited national security concerns and the possibility of witnesses being intimidated. It argued that restricting media coverage would enable both the court and prosecution to conduct the proceedings without disruption. However, the defense, led by Medad Vega Segona, opposed the application, citing constitutional provisions guaranteeing public trials. The defense argued that the restrictions were intended to obstruct justice and prevent the public from knowing what transpires in court. In his ruling, the Grade 1 magistrate said that after considering the relevant law, constitution and other research, the presence of cameras, journalists and live coverage equipment remains subject to the discretion of the presiding judicial officer, who has authority to regulate court proceedings. The magistrate rejected the argument that public access to justice necessarily requires live television coverage, saying members of the public can instead attend the proceedings in person.
Media attendance is subject to court verification by court administration, not as a device of exclusion, but for order, space management and security.
Leader of opposition in Parliament and former journalist Joel Senyonyi has condemned the decision, arguing that it amounts to siding with the prosecution.
That matter began in Kawempe, very problematic. The same has happened here. It's not even good for court. I don't know who advises these courts, because when you tell journalists that you only enter with a piece of paper and a pen to write, don't enter with gadgets. What happens if this journalist does not clearly hear what the judicial officer has said or what the state prosecutor has said, because they are scribbling away? And then they misquote you. Who will you blame?
The magistrate also barred defense lawyers from commenting to the media about the case until its conclusion, a decision that has further angered NUP leaders and the defense team.
We are going to reject this decision through lawful means.
Planning to appeal to the Law Council and other avenues of redress.
The court has set September 3rd for a ruling on whether Kivumbi will be granted bail or remain in custody.